What is going on, everyone? Nick or Catalyst here. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So I'm sorry that I haven't been posting the past couple of days. I've had a pretty busy week, a little bit busier than normal just with work and school and everything, but we're back with another video on the channel today. I always hate when other YouTubers say that. Well, we're back with another video on the channel today. I don't know. I always thought it was really cringy, but what we are going to do today is we're going to do a little bit of an unconventional video, a bit of a new video on the channel. We are going to be doing a hashtag review your gameplay, or a hashtag review my gameplay, whichever way you want to refer to it. And I asked you all to submit gameplay if you wanted me to take a look at it and give my live honest thoughts about it and see how I can help you personally and see if I can actually generally use you by example to help the greater part of my audience and the community that may come and watch the video. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I was saving these gameplays for a rainy day, so just an easier video to make, and it is a rainy day outside. It is absolutely pouring. So without further ado, we have two submissions in this video today. If you find any of this helpful, make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Catalyst, I thought I had a bad game because I was focusing too much on being squad leader. So this is completely unscripted. I'm going to be taking a look at the entire gameplay and we're going to see what we can figure out here. First of all, the weapon choice is a little bit peculiar, I think, for a map like this, but you do probably have the best weapon for the meta class on a map like this, probably besides the Sten, because Narvik is such a long-range map. So good on you for having good weapon selection, even if you intended it or not. Oh, you see somebody there. Oh, that was actually really smart. You waited until you had a better shot. Oh, you're going to go for the revive here. And oh my lord. That was a lot of people there. So in that first life, what you did really well is you waited on that first guy. I always preach about waiting until you have the best shot and able to kill your opponent, because it would have been really bad if you shot that first guy by the ruins and oh my god, screen glitch, and you shot at the first guy at the ruins and you know you missed a couple of shots, you tagged him once and he turned around and killed you. So that was good patience on that. That was actually really well done. So looks like we're gonna try to get a spawn on this guy here. Is he stuck? What's going on, Lewis? Are we gonna spawn in? Or I think we're just waiting here. Oh no. Okay. And this guy's playing Fortnite in a bush. Interesting. Okay. We're gonna fast forward until Justin spawns in here. Okay, there he is. So, that was about 3 minutes of watching this guy sit in a bush. So I already know what I'm going to be focusing on in your gameplay, Lewis. And it's not necessarily you, it's about your squad. And I think it's really important to understand...
Watch out, over there.
Okay, I was about to say, are you live there? So it's really important to understand how to play a game when you're put with a bad squad, because you're not always going to get a bad squad. And maybe you are that person in the squad that's maybe camping in the bush. I would advise you all not to do that. So we're going to come back to that later. I personally wouldn't run across the bridge. I probably would have gone under it just because there's more cover, but in that position, you did have the A flag and the D flag, so you were probably okay. There are a couple of people on the flag. You hear somebody to your right of you. Oh. Yeah, that's Battlefield 5 visibility at its finest. That's okay. I heard him too, on my footsteps. So it doesn't look like there's anybody else on the flag here. Okay. So one thing that I can definitely advise you to improve on is you seem to be kind of just running around aimlessly. Oh, you're getting shot at. Oh, it looks like he might have been killed. So as I was saying, one thing that I could see that you're doing is you appear to be kind of running around aimlessly. And trying to call in a V1 rocket, but you seem to be running around looking for people instead of predicting where people are going to be. And I think that's something that a lot of people make the mistake of doing. And it's really a balance between two types of players. It's a balance between a player that's going to go and find people and search out those kills, or it's a player that's going to have kills come to them. And ideally, you want to be kind of somewhere in the middle. So what you've shown me so far is that you're running around trying to find kills, and you're trying to honestly play as well as you can on every single part of the map, and that's not always the case, as you struggle to call in a V1 rocket here. So it looks like we finally got that rocket called in. So one thing that I could say right now is I think your field of view is a little bit too tight. I think it's probably hovering around the 70 area. I would suggest bumping it up a little bit, but if you're comfortable with that, I think it's about comfortability over anything that I would say. We're going to see that rocket drop in, and we got maybe a little bit of an enemy hit there. I can't exactly see on the screen. It's all the white around. So as I was saying beforehand, and this is another example of it, you know that you're heading to the C flag. You've marked it as an objective, but you don't appear to seem to have like an actual plan in place on how to get there, and you don't seem to be thinking about anything else other than I need to get to that flag so I can capture it. And that's a okay mentality to be in. You know, you always want to play the objective, but you also want to consciously think about where you're going and how you've gotten there, because what you've been doing, or what you've done to yourself is, uh-oh, you're getting shot. Oh, this is a risky res. What you've ended up doing is you've kind of pushed yourself to an edge of the map, and you're all alone. You're away from teammates. You're away from your squad. So you really have put yourself in a disadvantageous position by basically going off on yourself alone. Oh, you got a lucky headshot there. And, yep, that's the tank. So you ran yourself away from most of your teammates, and you got cornered by a tank and another player, and it just didn't end well for you. So a couple of things that I've seen in the past couple lives is that you don't want to move yourself away from the rest of your team, the rest of your squad, no matter how useless they are. And also, you do want to have a plan of how you're going to get to the place that you're trying to go. Because in a game like Battlefield 5, you can't just run around and search for people and, you know, survive longer because of how the TTK is structured. So yeah, and here's another example. It's kind of just, okay, I'm going to the C flag, and you pay for it. So it's the mentality that you're in of, okay, I need to get to the C flag, and you're not consciously thinking about where other players could be. That's half of the battle right there, is prediction, map knowledge, and how that's going to play out between you and the other team. Because if you just rush straight forward and go in, you're going to end up dying. And it's just another example of how bad your squad is. So when it comes to playing with a bad squad, and it's going to happen quite a lot in this game, I feel like, that you're going to get a bad squad. One thing that you should... Oh, there's a guy getting suppressed in there. Okay, so you're following that. I'll get back to this point after we watch this live. Oh, that's a dead body. Oh, he got you from behind. That's unfortunate. He just had the better weapon in that situation, and he was running around. You didn't have the exact idea of where he is. So when you're playing with a bad squad, one thing that you should try to do besides, you know, naturally switching squads, if you can't switch squads, one thing that you should do is you should consciously think about where the rest of your teammates are on the map. And I'm not talking about your squad mates. I'm talking about your actual team. Excuse me. I'm talking about your actual teammates. You're going to want to play more to them, because Battlefield 5 is a game that relies on some kind of teamwork, and if you can't cooperate with your squad mates, you definitely want to do your best to cooperate with your teammates and play around them, so there is still kind of that teamwork gameplay elements. So we're going to the F flag here. I like the way that you've decided to go towards this side of the map. There is a lot more cover this way. You do still seem to be rushing in. And there doesn't appear to be anybody on the flag, so it's going to be interesting to see what you do here. Ooh, you're kind of out in the open. Now, this isn't the spot that I would choose. So you realize on the flag counter that your team has a majority of the flags. The only other flag that the enemy team has is east. So you would probably, if you're looking for a space to spot up, you'd probably want to be looking at the E flag, that side of things. And looks like there's people on the flag now. And this kind of confirms what I was talking about earlier. You seem to be kind of running around searching for them and not consciously thinking about where they could possibly be. So I think that's the one thing that you should work on is your prediction and understanding where the enemy players might be, depending on where the flag capture status is and um, what flags they have. Oh, now this is definitely a situation where you probably should have started aiming down sights and not hip firing. I know the MP40 has good hip fire. Oh, what are you... Okay, so, running that back, you went down into that little crater area right there. You're looking at it right now. That is something called a head glitch, and if you would have stayed in that position, you would have probably been able to kill that person because you had a better position of firing instead of just flat out pushing him. And you always have to keep in mind that, especially if you're in a party chat, your enemy might not be in a party chat. He might have his headphones cranked up all the way. He might hear you coming a mile away. So, oof. And that's just a rough life. That's a rough one. But again, you kind of found yourself rushing out in the open instead of having an actual plan on where you're going. So I would say that you do make good decisions when you come up on running up on people and getting some nice kills. I mean, you made some nice decisions with that first kill where you decided to wait to shoot at somebody to get the kill. But moving in between flags and working with a bad squad is something that is hard to do. And I think you should work on your prediction on where enemies could be. And there we go. There's the squad switch. And that's the first thing that you should try to do, obviously, if you do find yourself with a bad squad. Oh, there's some nice bit of aiming there. You should definitely try to switch squads above all else. Okay. Oh. Just ran up a little bit too far there. You did well to get that first kill, but I think in that sense you were just being a little bit too aggressive. That's something that you probably would have been better to wait out because there were multiple people down that hallway. You should have probably tried to get a gauge on their position and then plan what you were going to do instead of just pushing down the hallway. So that was a nice spawn on the AA there. That was quite good. Oh, you're getting shot at. Oh, no. So, yeah, so when you get shot before a res, you basically have two decisions to make. You're either going to want to smoke the body, or you're just going to have to leave it. Going for a res in that situation, I don't think is something that you should do more often than not. So definitely make sure that you're running extra smoke, especially as a medic. I can't quite see what you have on your kit right now. If I can't see if that's an AP mine or not. That may look like smoke grenades. I'm not sure, but you're definitely going to want to smoke bodies in the open like that, especially after getting shot. But and then again is an example of just kind of running to the objective that you want to go to without thinking, oh, you know, there's going to be somebody watching that lane down that way because, you know, that my spawn is that way. So the next submission is from 50 Shades of Red. Ooh, as he almost gets somebody with a Panzerfaust there. Using the M1 carbine on Rotterdam. Some well-placed shots, some nice couple of kills there. Immediately what you'll probably notice on the screen is, oh, I'll come back to that later. Oh, this is a nice kill streak you got going here. A little bit of a situation where the enemy players are not exactly having the best wherewithal as to where you are, but you're doing nice. You're doing well in hitting your shots there. That was actually very well done. Very nice and controlled. I probably would have gone for more headshots personally, but that's just me. It looks like this is on the front lines game mode, so you're doing well to kind of cover all angles that that are on the objective here. So one thing that you'll probably notice on the screen to your right immediately is the network graph, and that's something that I would not have on unless you know that you're having performance issues. I don't know if you were having performance issues before you recorded this gameplay, but if you aren't having performance issues, that graph is just going to be really distracting for you, and you're going to notice a lot more, and you're going to be able to pay a lot more attention to what's happening on the battlefield with it off. Another thing that I'm seeing right now, and this isn't necessarily gameplay related, but it looks like your brightness is extremely low. I can't see very well, especially up in here. It's very, very low brightness. You're probably going to want to turn that up a little bit. It's going to help with, you know, helping you see people in corners. See a guy there. He went up top. Nice patience there. Nice patience. It looks like you let your teammate be the bait. I wouldn't have hip fired in that situation, but that's just personally me. You're still doing well to hold this objective. It looks almost like by yourself. It's another example of nice, good kill, good kill. It's another example of your teammates or your squad mates not exactly being very helpful. Ooh. Oh, don't push, don't push, don't push. Oh my gosh, you got extremely lucky there. In that situation, since you shot him from the corner, you got to think of that from the enemy's perspective. He knows he just got shot from the corner. He's going to expect somebody to follow. What you should probably do is exactly what he should do. Is you're going to be peeking that corner, and then it becomes a battle of the mind game. Who's going to be coming through the door at what time? It would have been a risky push, and it was a risky push, as you just saw there, but... Oh, nice hip fire kill. Up, and you just ended up getting overrun in the end. But that was a really good example of how to stay in the objective by yourself when your squad isn't exactly around you to help you out there. He was very, very careful in what he was doing. He knew where to look on the map, seeing that was front lines. He knew where the spawns were, where people might be, especially from the side that he was attacking from. That was really, really good. I just would turn up the brightness. I probably wouldn't have pushed that one guy. Definitely start going for more headshots with the M1 carbine. That's exactly where the bread and butter is with that weapon. Body shots are fine, but you're going to greatly lessen the time to kill if you can practice and hit those headshots. And definitely turn off the network graph if you know that you're not having any network issues. So that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If this helped you in any way, if you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications. Thank you all who submitted the gameplay. If you want to submit your gameplay, make sure you do it in the comment section with the hashtag #ReviewMyGameplay for an episode in the future. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name is Nick or Catalyst, and I will see you all another time.